guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Friday, and that means tonight was Friday Night Smackdown. Now, as far as Smackdown does go, it was an okay show. Maybe a little better than okay, but it wasn't great. Like, it wasn't great or anything. Like, I see a lot of people calling this Smackdown awesome. We got to the top of the final hour, like the beginning of the 10 o'clock hour, and I'm like, holy fuck, we still got an hour left in this show. This show felt long. And here's my thing. I don't understand why these Smackdowns are feeling so much longer than the 3-hour Raws did. Like, 3-hour Raws some weeks would be fine and scoot by. And we get these hour and a half or 2.5 hour Raws, and they're scooting by, running by, flinging by. We get to that third hour of, like, to the start of the third hour of Smackdown, and I'm just like, oh my God, the show is still on? And I do this about every week. That's how it feels about every week. And it's just like, what the frick? I don't get it. Granted, 3-hour Raws were bad. I'm not saying they were good, but 3-hour Smackdowns just feel worse than the 3-hour Raws. And I don't understand that at all. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But overall, we got build for tomorrow's Backlash-ish. We got build for the future. Something going on with Charlotte and Alexa. Maybe something with Charlotte and Jade. And then Alexa, stop. I hate when I say Bliss's name and then my echo goes off. Anyways, and then ultimately we're going to get Nia and Tiffany again because Nia is the new #1 contender. So we got stuff for the future there. More tension with Santos and Berto and all that other good stuff we'll get into. But first, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, go help us out over on YouTube. You can help us out over there by hitting the subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know we post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to videos we're working on. You get access to emotes and emojis, a badge. You get all of our graphics packages. The next one you guys will be getting next week will be our Backlash graphics. So you will be getting those. And so much more. We've got AW Double or Nothing graphics. I'm still working on those. That you'll be getting. You'll be getting our Saturday Night's Main Event graphics this month. Our Battleground graphics this month. Actually, you know what? I think I might put the Saturday Night's Main Event graphics up this weekend for members. Since we've already used those twice. They should have been out already. Should have gave them to you guys. So I think Monday at the latest, you'll get the Saturday Night's Main Event graphics if you are at the $5 tier or higher. Also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air on YouTube, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. So snap. The crew for Fortnite, I'm on the Epic Store right now. Crew, was that legit? Like, that's everything you get in crew this month? I might actually get crew. Is that really what crew is giving you? Because this is saying, as far as Epic Store, if you get crew for the month of May, you're going to get Grievous, Phantasma, Palpatine, Sabrina Carpenter, which I don't care about, and the female Jedi. Damn. Is that what bangs? Is that really what all we're getting in crew this month? All those, that's gotta be one of the best crews ever. I would say that's got to be one of the best crews ever. But if you are going to get that or anything else for Fortnite, Rocket League, Fall Guys, well, Use our code PWUNLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. If the thing wants to come back up on the screen, there we go. For Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Also, Epic is doing a new thing for Fortnite, Rocket League, and Fall Guys. Whatever you spend in those games, they give you 20% back credits. Before, that was only for stuff bought on the Epic Game Store, but now they are doing it through all three of those games. So if you buy V-Bucks or whatever the Bucks are called for Rocket League or whatever the Bucks are called for Fall Guys, and whatever you do, you're going to get back 20%. So not only is it a benefit for you to go and buy something in Fortnite if you're a real fan of Fortnite, not only is it a benefit for us if you use our code, but there's a new added benefit. You get 20% back in rewards that you can use on further future purchases. Couldn't get that word out. Through the Epic Game Store and Epic Games, which is awesome. Banks says, I want to know what these rewards are. So Bangs, basically what it is, and I'll go into it real fast. And hold on, I'm going to find HypeX had a good tweet about this on Twitter. Let's go get this really fast. It kind of broke it down. Or somebody commented on it and broke it down. But basically what it is you will be getting basically money back. Here we go. So HypeX sent out this tweet. I know we're getting a little in the weeds here, but I'll pull this up on the screen really fast. So basically, if you make purchases in Fortnite using Epic's payment system, here's what you get: 20% in rewards. 1,000 V-Bucks, which is $9, will get you $1.08 or $1.80 back. 2,800 V-Bucks, which is $23, gets you $4.60 back. 5,000, $7.40, and 13,000 V-Bucks, which is $90, gets you $18 back. This all applies to real money packs. If you spend real money, then you get credits back that can be used through Epic to get other things, whether that's buy games, whether that is buy more V-Bucks and stuff for Fortnite. So really cool there. I've used it before because I've bought games off the Epic Game Store and then got because before it was just if you buy games on the Epic Game Store, not through Fortnite, nothing for Fortnite, Rocket League, or Fall Guys. But now it is through those three games also. I got games for free because I bought a few games, one game for free because I bought a few games through the Epic Game Store previously. And then I got the money back, the rewards, the credits, I guess you would call it. And you put that towards, I think it was like a $15, $20 game. That's really cool that they are now implementing that in Fortnite, Fall Guys, and Rocket League. But as far as Smackdown does go, let's get this back over here. As far as Friday Night Smackdown does go, though, show was in Dayton, Ohio, and the show opened up with Damian Priest walking towards the ring. Byron Saxton interrupted his walk and asked him about Backlash and the Fatal 4 tomorrow. Priest was talking, and LA Knight walked out, and Knight told Priest that anyone who gets in his way of him getting back the U.S. title will receive Backlash tomorrow night at Backlash. Priest said that he was concerned that Knight wouldn't have his back in the opening match tonight, and they need to work together. Knight said, if Priest has his back, I'll have your back. And Knight told someone to hit my music. And then Knight made his entrance for the first match of the night. We did have LA Knight and Damian Priest versus Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Pretty good match. I thought this was a really good opener. Priest and Knight argued about who was going to start. And I think it was Wade Barrett on commentary goes, oh, this is already off the rails. Oh my God, Joe Tess. Also, speaking of Wade Barrett, because Pat is working the Gunther match, Wade will be on commentary with Michael Cole tomorrow for Backlash. So the commentary team for Backlash tomorrow will be Wade Barrett and Michael Cole. Looks like Pat's not going to call anything. Maybe Pat calls, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think, like maybe Pat calls the main event or something. We'll have to see. I doubt it. Where was I? Priest ended up officially starting the match for his team. Priest bounced back from the initial attack and took Solo down before posing in Fatu's face. Priest successfully executed Old School and on Sikoa and then fired up the crowd. Priest went for a clothesline, but Sikoa rolled to the outside. Priest then hit a double axe handle on Sikoa and jawed at Fatu. who was taken out by Knight's drop kick through the ropes. With the heels both down, Priest and Knight kind of bickered as we went to a commercial break. When the show returned, Sikoa was working Priest's neck inside the ring. Priest struggled to get the tag to Knight, but Sikoa knocked Knight off the apron once Priest got free. Sikoa capitalized with the drop kick. No, Sikoa capitalized with a Samoan drop. I wrote that. Oh, okay. Never mind. I mixed two lines together here. Sikoa capitalized with the Samoan drop and a 2 count. Fatu tagged in and landed a running senton. Fatu headbutted Priest and followed this up with the hip attack. Sikoa tagged back in, and they got a lot of boos. Sikoa got a running start, but Priest fired out of the corner to kick Sikoa's head. Sikoa? What am I talking about? Anyways, as we get towards the end of this 10-minute match, Knight had the upper hand, including a jumping neck breaker and a leaping elbow. Knight set up for a jump up elbow, but Priest tagged himself in and clotheslined the hell out of Fatu. Priest then set up for a South of Heaven and tagged Knight, and then Knight tagged himself back in. Sikoa took advantage of the babyfaces not getting along and arguing until Knight landed a BFT on Solo and picked up the victory. So there we go. The babyfaces do get the big win. Yet after the match, more shit happened. After the match, Knight and Priest threw punches at each other until Fatu broke it all up and attacked both babyfaces. He rammed their heads into the ring post and hit a running hip attack. Fatu then held up the U.S. title, and the crowd cheered. They cheered until Drew McIntyre showed up and claymored Fatu. McIntyre then held up the U.S. title. So, if we go with, how WWE books, and I know they're not fully like this anymore, but they, for the most part, are. The challengers beat the champion in a tag match. So they're not winning tomorrow. Then the other challenger laid out the champion after the tag match. I don't think he's winning tomorrow. Pretty sure Jacob Fatu is winning. So my prediction on the 4-way, Jacob Fatu. And not just because he's favored in the betting odds. A, I don't think it's time for him to lose. And B, just based off the booking of tonight, Fatu losing a tag match. Yes, not getting pinned, but still losing technically. And then getting laid out afterwards by Drew. I think Fatu wins tomorrow. He takes the negative tonight to get the positive tomorrow. That's how WWE likes to book most of the time. I think it's like 70-30 how they book. At least under Vince, and Triple H still does it often as well. It was more 60-40 under Vince. Now it's more 70-30 under Vince. Now 60-40 under Triple H, if that makes sense. So we get Truth in the back. Also, this plays up to something else. So we get Truth in the back, and he's got a Let's Go Cena sign, and he's like in the parking garage waiting for John Cena. Let's go, Cena! Let's go, Cena! Jimmy Uso walks up and is like, Truth, what are you doing? He's like, John Cena gonna be in the house tonight. My childhood hero. And he's like, yeah, but Cena sucks now, Truth. And he's like, no, you just don't understand. Jimmy yeeted and then walked away as Truth kept chanting for Cena. Well, I said this plays into something. Cena, I wish Cena would have played this up in his promo and maybe I missed it. I don't think I missed it. There are 3 guys in the front row that had white shirts with black text on them, which is like the opposite of Cena's new entrance. White text on black. But this was black text on white. It's one guy had a shirt that said John, the other guy had a shirt that said Cena, and the other guy had a shirt that said sucks. John Cena sucks. I wish Cena would have played up to that in his promo later. If he did, then I missed it. But McIntyre was backstage and Saxton rushed over to talk to him. McIntyre cut a hell of a promo here. He said the U.S. title match should have been a one-on-one match with him and Fatu. Why is Damian Priest even in this match? It makes no sense. McIntyre noted how Knight shouldn't be in the match because, well, he lost at WrestleMania. And Priest lost too. McIntyre said that he wants to take the title off of Fatu because that will make him a Grand Slam champion. McIntyre mocked Fatu's all gas, no brakes, and said, yeah, you can be all gas. That's cool. But when you're no brakes and you go all gas into a brick wall, eventually you fall. He said he's going to be the next U.S. champion after tomorrow. So then, excuse me, Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis are doing a seance. They're mourning her loss of the U.S. title. Zelina Vega, Nick Aldis walk in, and Nick's like, excuse me, what are you doing in my office? Like, excuse me, we're busy here. And he's like, yeah, well, this is my office, so what's up? And Green said that Vega, well, you got no girlfriends, you got no friends. So I always have people to help me. You don't. And Vega's like, really? Well, how about you and one of them against me and my invisible friend here? And they're like, oh, you can't find anybody. Sure. And Nicole's like, I like that. I like that. All right, let's make it happen. So we're sitting and we're waiting and we're wondering, well, who could Zelina get? Good get. Chicago good get. We got a good Aleister Black video here. Black said that he buried his former WWE character. And what he found 6 feet under wasn't death, but truth. Black said that he came back because he is the consequence that the company needs. Black said that he's more than a man who whispers in the shadows. That's a callback to Vince throwing him in the closet. Black said that it's bigger than good versus evil because he's here to confront everyone mentally and physically. Black said that he hasn't figured Carmelo Hayes out yet, and then the vignette ends. So he's like, hey, I gotta figure out what's up with this fool before I face him. So we did get our next match. So Chelsea and the Hervis come out. We find out there's going to be Chelsea and Piper against Zelina and her partner. Zelina comes out, stops at the top of the ramp. She waits. She points. And out comes the returning Alexa Bliss. We have not seen Alexa Bliss since Elimination Chamber. And we had heard earlier in the day, per PW Insider, that Alexa was scheduled for tonight's show. Wasn't clear if she was going to be on the show, and she was. And I'm glad that this doesn't seem like just another one-off thing. Like, oh, we got her for a minute, and then she's going to leave again. Because, as we see later, they're building up to something with her and Charlotte. But we did get this match. It went about 8 minutes or so. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Niven and Vega started things off, and Niven got the best of Vega. Green tagged in and went for a splash, but Vega moved. Vega then went to work on Green, set her up for a 619. And instead, Niven jumped in. She got set up for a 619. We got dual 619s. And Vega landed it for a good 2 count. Vega teased tagging in Bliss, but then Green attacked her to stop the tag. As a result of all this, the heels got the upper hand, and Green tagged in Piper. Piper then took Vega and knocked her down. The heels then stood tall and saluted as we went to a break. When the show returned, Vega was crawling towards Bliss, but Niven cut her off. Niven lifted Vega, but Vega countered with a DDT. Alas, Bliss received the hot tag, though. Green then tagged in too, and Bliss worked over Green with a series of strikes, and even a drag-a-screw leg whip. Bliss landed a blockbuster on Green and got a 2 off of it. Bliss ran into an elbow, and Green climbed to the top, but Bliss cut her off and drop-kicked Green. Bliss hit the Twisted Bliss on Green, but Niven broke up the pin. Vega then landed a code red on Niven. Bliss followed this up with the Twisted Sister Abigail. Got the pin. So she uses that Sister Abigail DDT and pins Chelsea Green. Now, we had heard for a while that they're going to pair her with, well, the White Six. And we got no teases of that at all tonight. I thought we would get something. And I guess someone's going to say, well, she did the Sister Abigail. That's your tease. I don't know. I don't know if that's really the tease or not. She's still wearing like the Bray inspired gear. So it's like there's that. She's had that since she returned at the Rumble. But I don't know. And then her now doing something with Charlotte maybe where she tells Charlotte later, let's chat. I don't know what this is leading to unless it's going to lead to something with Charlotte and the Wyatt Six. And the Wyatt Six coming after Charlotte? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. Whatever. So Rey Fenix ran into Santos Escobar in the back, and Fenix reminded Escobar that he beat him last week. Escobar said that he had something to say, and Los Garza attacked Fenix from behind. They would run him into a road case, and Andrade would show up and make the save. SUV pulls up to the arena, and out comes, well, Queen Charlotte Flair. And boy, this lady have something controversial to say later. Like, oh, fuck. Excuse me, I got something caught in my throat or something. Oh, his cough. We get a video package chronicling some more of the history between John Cena and Randy Orton. So Charlotte comes out. This is interesting. Charlotte comes out and tells Dayton that their queen has arrived, and some actually cheered. Charlotte said that that she just came off, quote, the greatest women's WrestleMania match in history. I'm like, what? You what? The greatest women's WrestleMania match in history? Maybe you could say that for WrestleMania 39 when you fought Rhea, but not the Tiffy match. Oh, hell no. Oh, no. That is not true. Now, her and Rhea from WrestleMania 39 is regarded as one of the greatest WrestleMania women's matches of all time. Yes, one of the greatest women's matches of all time at WrestleMania. But not this. Not her and Tiffany. The match wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It wasn't even close to one of the greatest. She said, she did this after being out for 2 years, but still took Tiffy to her limit, and then showed a picture of Tiffany at Mania on the big screen. So I said that she was there to announce her path back to getting the women's championship. People booed that. Charlotte acted a little perturbed. She said that she's the GOAT of women's wrestling. Charlotte said if the crowd continued to be disrespectful, she would leave and never come back to Dayton. The crowd then booed even harder, trying to get her to leave. Charlotte then threw the microphone down and left the ring. As Charlotte was walking up the ramp to leave, music of Jade Cargill hit. Cargill made her entrance, had a brief stare down in the aisleway with Charlotte, and then got into the ring and grabbed a mic. Charlotte's still standing in the entranceway, and Jade basically told her, hey, honey, you got your shot at WrestleMania and you lost. Now it's time for you to get to the back of the line. So I don't know exactly what this was supposed to leave. Is this teasing anything? I don't know. But it felt weird because Jade, her music didn't stop, but she was talking over the music, which is kind of weird. I don't know if she started talking early or if production forgot to hit the cue to turn the music off or down. Or I don't know. This is weird. But Charlotte kind of looked at her like, who do you think you are? Telling me to get to the back of the line. And then she just left. So that was very interesting. And then this Nick Aldis part is kind of weird. So Charlotte's just leaving. She came, cut the promo, left. We're trying to leave. And Nick Aldis walks up and goes, excuse me, what are you doing? I want you to be a leader. I want you to lead by example, not throw temper tantrums. And I'm like, what temper tantrum? I mean, yeah, she got mad that they booed her, but the temper tantrum? And she's like, I can't deal with this right now. And she kind of just shrugs off Nick Aldis. She walks over to the SUV, and as she gets up to it, someone or something, we know it's someone, shuts the door in her face before she can get in. Camera pans out, and Alexa Bliss is standing there. Charlotte stops in her tracks and looks down at Alexa, and boy, did Alexa look small next to Charlotte here. And Alexa looks at Charlotte and just goes, let's chat. Let's chat about what? This is something that's actually legitimately got me intrigued. Because this can go so many different ways that I don't even know. Is it just something for Charlotte and Alexa to team up together? But Alexa was a babyface tonight, teaming with Zelina. Does it have to do with the Wyatts? Does it not have to do with the Wyatts? Does Alexa feel disrespected like Charlotte feels disrespected? They're the veterans and all these new women coming in here and trying to take over. I don't know. Maybe we do get a heel Alexa Bliss, and they just did that to bring her in so we don't expect this. I don't know. We're really going to get a heel Charlotte, which is fine. We always have a heel Charlotte for the most part. A heel Becky and a heel Alexa all at the same time. That would be interesting. Very interesting. I don't know. I don't think you put them together either, but I'm confused, but in a good way. Because I'm intrigued, which means I'm going to come back and watch. I'm going to watch anyways, but I'm going to come back and watch and be invested because I want to see where this goes. I'm interested. I'm confused in a good way because it's got me interested because it's not predictable, at least for me. I can't go, oh, this is going to lead to this, this, and this. I can see where this is going from a mile away. No. So I want to see where this is going because these are two characters that I like. I am a fan of Charlotte Flair. I am a big fan of Alexa Bliss. So hopefully it gets Alexa off the spooky, creepy stuff. I don't know. But then we had Jade versus Nia. This match, oh my God, was it not good? This match was slow, and it was like Jade can't do much. Nia had to be the vet here. But oh man, no, this was not all that good at all. This match was not all that good. Now, Jade did look better than she normally does here with Nia, which is a plus for Nia, I would say. And maybe Jade a little bit, but I don't know. It was... Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. This match we got here tonight, Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax, to an extent, was the original pitched and planned match for WrestleMania for the Women's Championship. As we have learned, back in like November, if not before that, there was a point where Jade was supposed to be the WWE Women's Champion, defending that title at WrestleMania 41 against Nia Jax. Think about that. So this match we got tonight, granted it would have been worked differently in a slightly different match because the title would have been on the line and so forth and whatnot. But think about that. Jade versus Nia that we got tonight was supposed to be a Mania match. And then Jade got hurt. And they shifted everything around and Nia ended up not even working Mania. Tiffany wasn't even on the original card for Mania. Because I think Jade was going to beat her for the belt. And then Nia was going to somehow become number one contender. I don't know if that meant Nia winning the Rumble. Nia winning... Well, Nia would have had to win the Chamber then. Maybe the Rumble. Instead of Charlotte. Because Charlotte was supposed... The whole thing that we'll get more deep into once that WWE backstage behind the scenes Netflix show starts. We'll get more in the weeds and see what we can learn from that then. But I'm interested to see from that whiteboard that we got with the original Mania card on it, if they go into any other or any more depth on, hey, you know, back at one point, we had a totally different plan for WrestleMania. I don't know if they would, but I'd be interested if they do. As far as this match does go. Two women are in the ring ready to go, but Tiffany's music hits, and Tiffany came out and sat at ringside to watch the match. Cargill and Jax lock up. And Jax jaw jacked at Tiffany after getting a little bit of the better of Jade for a moment. She then turned her attention back to Cargill, taking Cargill down repeatedly with shoulder tackles. Jax then mocked Cargill's pose. Eventually, as the crowd chanted, "You can't wrestle," Cargill came out with a flying shoulder tackle, which took Jax down. Jax bounced right back up and did a Samoan drop on Cargill before landing a leg drop, a 2 count, and going to a commercial break. Back from the break, Jax went to sit on Cargill, but Cargill moved. Cargill lifted Jax up and delivered a Samoan drop on Nia. Cargill then suplexed Jax and landed a super kick, plus a spine buster, all for a 2 count. Cargill went for a boot, but Jax countered into a powerbomb. Jax stood on the second rope, and Cargill cut her off and pressed Jax to the mat. Cargill climbed to the top and landed a frog splash for a nice near fall. Cargill tried to set up for the Jaded, but Jax threw Cargill across the ring. Cargill then came right back with a running kick to Jax's head. Out of nowhere, though, Naomi would appear and attack Tiffany Stratton. Cargill saw Naomi, and it took her attention away from Nia Jax. As a result, Nia took the advantage here, attacked Cargill, hit her with her finish, and pinned her to pick up the victory and earn a shot at the Women's Championship. So, I think it's going to be Saturday night's main event. That's the next show after Backlash, next big one at least. And so I think that's where we're going to get Tiffany and Nia. It makes all the sense. It makes the most sense. Tiffany and Nia, a Saturday night's main event. We're also getting Jey Uso and Logan Paul on that show as well, per reports from Dave Meltzer in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter. So there's 2 matches of the 4 to 5. What did we get at the last Saturday night's main event? Saturday night's main event. What was the card for the last one? How many matches? It was 5 matches. Dang, we got 6? Oh, that was a pre-show match. Dark match. So yeah, they've been doing 5 matches for the Saturday night's main event. There's 2. We need 3 more. So Street Profits were backstage, walking until they ran into Beachin and B-Fab. The woman told the Profits that they looked banged up, but still look good. Ford said something brief, and the Profits continued walking towards the ring. We then got a Becky Lynch vignette, kind of hyping up her title shot tomorrow at Backlash. So Street Profits come up. Tez got his ribs all taped up from the TLC match, and they talk about that. They're selling the impact of the injuries. Ford said that the Profits have been the talk of the town, and they put on the greatest TLC match of all time just a couple weeks ago. Ford stating, quote, "That's right. The gorilla fears us." I thought that was pretty funny. Ford said, "What happened? What will always happen. And it's that the Street Profits will come out on top." And that's when they're interrupted by Fraxium. And I go, oh, yes. This match. Oh, give me Fraxium and Street Profits. This is going to be good. We got it later and it was good. So Frazier looks at the Street Profits and goes, "Hey, you could be the best tag team in the world, but you're not. It's us." Frazier said Shawn Michaels told them to take any and all advantage that they can get, or opportunity that they can get. Axiom spoke up and said that the tag titles will look pretty good around their waist. Dawkins said, "You only won 2 matches so far here on SmackDown. You think you deserve a tag title shot?" Ford then yelled at Fraxium, saying, "You guys haven't earned the shot yet." Nicholas walks out and goes, hold on. I'm intrigued here. I like where this is going, so let's book a match. Fraxium versus Street Profits right about now. Referee comes out, and we get a non-title match. Street Profits versus Fraxium. Boy, was this match good. This match was fantastic. I loved it. Like, this match was awesome. We joined the match in progress if you weren't watching on the international Netflix. Frazier did have the upper hand, working over Dawkins. The action spilled to the outside, and Dawkins ran Frazier into the corner of the commentary table. Axiom checked on Frazier and rolled Frazier back into the ring to beat the 10 count. Frazier tagged in and hit a splash. Ford tagged in and hit a splash on Frazier while selling his rib pain. Ford kicked to the back of Frazier and tagged in Dawkins, who landed a splash on Frazier for a 2. Dawkins hit a spinning splash on Frazier in the corner and got a 2 off of it. Eventually, Frazier fired up and kicked Dawkins before tagging Axiom into the match. Frazier executed an array of quick moves, complete with dives to the outside. Frazier and Axiom then fired up the crowd, and we went to a commercial break. When the show returned, Frazier and Dawkins were both down in the middle of the ring. Axiom and Ford tagged in, and Ford landed a bunch of clotheslines on Axiom. Ford hit a back suplex and continued to sell his ribs before going and launching into a standing moonsault for a 2. Axiom kicked Ford. Frazier tagged in. Frazier rolled up Ford quickly, but then ran into a kick but then ran into a kick to the head. Ford then was perched on the top rope, and Frazier went to the top with him. Dawkins tagged himself in and put Frazier on his shoulders. From there, they hit a super duper blockbuster on Frazier, but Axiom broke up the pin attempt. Crowd chanting, "This is awesome" at this point. Ford went to the top rope, but jumped into a wicked cool looking kick sequence here from Axiom. Dawkins then kicked Axiom, and the match broke down, and Frazier ran into a punch from Dawkins. With Dawkins on the top rope, Axiom hit a Spanish fly, and Frazier followed it up with a Phoenix Splash. At the very last 10th of a second, Ford broke up the pin attempt while attacking Axiom, and all 4 men kind of were down to reset things. Dawkins then ran into a golden ratio from Axiom on the outside of the ring, while meanwhile, Ford went to the top rope inside and then did a big frog splash. Fraxium then connected with a... Oh, okay. I wrote this weird because I wasn't sure how to spell it. Now it's kind of screwing with me. Catapulta Infernal. I don't know if I wrote Catapulta right, but I think that's what I wrote. And then that was enough for Fraxium to, pin Montez Ford. Axiom pinned him and picked up the victory. So yeah, the challengers, the non-champions beat the champions, which in turn should mean they're in line for a tag title shot eventually. Maybe that's another match we get at Saturday night's main event. Maybe that's match number 3 for Saturday night's main event. But this match was really, really good. Afterwards, both teams shook hands, and, the Street Profits praised Fraxium, raising their hands and while pandering to the crowd. This was just so good. Tiffany was backstage looking for people and ran into Jax. If he said, when I beat you and retain my title, you're going to go back to the loser table. I got a spot for you right there with Charlotte Flair. We then got a video package hyping up Gunther versus Pat McAfee. This is when Joe Tessitore did state that, hey, Wade, my friend, you're going to be on the call tomorrow night with Michael Cole. So The Miz was talking to Melo backstage and told him it's all about him. Showing everyone that Melo is the 10th wonder of the world. What the fuck? The 10th wonder of the world? No, you're not. Miz said that Melo will run the plays exactly as Miz designed. Miz kept saying to Melo, quote, who's him? And Melo responds with, it's me, or something like that. Miz then yelled a lot, and yeah, this was, whatever. Miz, whatever. So this did lead Carmelo Hayes versus Aleister Black. Good, but I kind of expected a little more from it. Bell rang. The two stood there, went to their corners. They didn't do much for like 20, 30 seconds, which is kind of weird. And then they finally locked up. Melo went for a springboard splash, and Black moved. The two kind of stared at each other again for a few seconds. Black kicked Melo, and Melo wound up on the outside. Black followed this up with a moonsault on the floor. Black returned to the ring to break the count and ran at Melo, but missed and found himself hung up in the corner. Melo then drop kicked Black over the barrier and posed as the show went to a break. The show returned and Black kicked Melo right in the face. Black followed this up with a leaping knee, which took Melo down. The two were both out down on the canvas and kind of had a reset here. Back on their feet, though, the two traded blows. Black eventually got the best of it. And hit a springboard moonsault from the second rope. Got a 2 off of it. The two traded a handful of moves and big moves, small moves, whatevers, until Black slowed things down and hit a brainbuster. Miz hopped up on the apron, and Black went after him. Melo then ran at Black. Black moved, and Melo knocked Miz down. Black then rolled up Melo and picked up the win. What the fuck? Why is that like, cool? Aleister Black won. Why is he winning with a goddamn roll-up? Why is he not winning with the Black Mass and then a pin? Come on. There's no. Well, then he does hit the Black Mass on fucking Miz. Like, we had this good match. Again, I expected more from it, to be honest. It just felt like hey, you guys got 8-9 minutes. Go out there and have a decent SmackDown match. You're going to go 50-50 and just both look good. That's all it really was. Hey, you don't got to kill yourselves. Go work an easy match tonight. That's what it felt like they were told. So weird that, yes, he got to do the move afterwards to Miz, but they didn't have him hit the Black Mass on Melo. Like, there's got to be a reason for that. So Cole and Fatu were backstage in a dark area. Sikoa said that they need a plan for Backlash if Fatu flipped out. He ended by calming down and saying, I'm all gas, no brakes. He asked Solo if he knew what he meant. And Solo said, I do. And Fatu walked away. Fraxium then ran into the Motor City Machine Guns backstage. Motor City Machine Guns said it will eventually be Fraxium versus them. But you wouldn't guessed it. Oh, wait, maybe you would. They were attacked by DIY. They attacked both teams. John Gargano then focused more on Fraxium, though, and lectured them before storming off. They were yelling at him, hey, this is our show. Don't overstep. You're new here. So, cool. Maybe we're building up to a 3-way tag. I don't know. But there's something here with Fraxium and Motor City Machine Guns. That match is going to be awesome. Then DIY intercepting and involving themselves in looting and whatnot. So, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Speaking of tag teams, we got a tag team match. It was Phoenix and Andrade versus Los Garza, Berto and Angel. Phoenix started off the match, and Los Garza put the boots to him. Berto became the legal man and went to work on Phoenix, complete with a drop kick for a 2. Berto lifted up Phoenix, but Phoenix kneed him on the way out of it and tagged in Andrade. Angel tagged himself in as well, and Berto knocked Phoenix and Andrade to the outside. Berto and Angel then went to the top and hit dueling moonsaults on Andrade and Phoenix on the floor. The show went to a commercial break. When the show returned, Berto was working Andrade in the ring. Andrade eventually ducked a couple kicks and hit a Poison Rana. Both guys were down, and Andrade got the hot tag to Phoenix. Angel tagged in as well, and Phoenix took care of both heels as Escobar looked annoyed. Santos was like on the outside, just like he wouldn't even watch the match at points. Angel lifted Phoenix up and kicked him into the chest. Things then kind of broke down with all four men executing some big moves. They're all down in the middle of the ring, and the crowd chants, "This is awesome." Angel and Phoenix then traded chops at one point, and as they got to their knees, Angel had Phoenix in the corner, and Berto tagged in and hit a moonsault on Phoenix before Andrade broke up the pin. Coming towards the end of the match, with Berto in the corner, Phoenix hit a spinning animal kick. Escobar hopped up on the apron and distracted the ref as Berto had Phoenix pinned. Phoenix then kicked out eventually, and we were back to having all four wrestlers involved in the ring. Andrade then hit a back spinning elbow on Angel, while Phoenix landed the Adios Amigos on Berto. Phoenix then landed a splash on Angel outside the ring. Andrade hit the message and pinned Berto to pick up the win. So, yes, you can say Escobar screwed the Garzas out by accident, not intentionally. Eventually, they're going to split off. And you can see it coming. You can see that the Garzas are eventually going to split off. Berto's going to want to leave and not be with Santos anymore. Angel's going to be all conflicted. And this can go one of two ways. Both Los Garzas eventually leave Escobar, or Berto turns on Santos. Like, I've had enough. Not turns on him, but like stands up for himself and all that. Thinks Angel, let's go. Angel stays with Santos. And then we get Angel and Berto feuding. That would actually be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind that one. Because after the match, Escobar enters the ring, kind of scolded Berto. Slapped Escobar's hand away that he had it on his chest. Berto then left the ring, and Angel looked very confused, like, oh no. Cousin? You? Family? Guy that's given us opportunities? What do I do? So, it's about time to do some sort of a split here. And it really stinks that Elektra Lopez isn't still around, because I think she would have played into this very well as well. So it stinks. Now, Angel's got to be that one that's got to be the, what do I do? Do I stay with you? Do I stay with family? You give us opportunities, and you've helped us rise to the on Smackdown, and I don't know. So we'll see. Commentary that ran down the card for Backlash, as we had the final segment of the night with John Cena coming out. But before we get into that, brought to you by, excuse me. Oh, I guess something caught my throat really fast. Let me take a drink. Excuse me. We're brought to you by Chef Robot. Let's hear from them right now. Hey, food lovers. Want crispy, delicious meals without the guilt? Then say hello to the Chef Robot 8-quart double air fryer, the ultimate kitchen sidekick that fries, bakes, and roasts with up to 85% less oil. With its smart cooking technology, you get perfectly golden results every time. Whether it's wings, fries, or even dessert, just set it, forget it, and enjoy chef-quality meals in minutes. So why settle for boring, greasy foods when you can cook healthier and faster with Chef Robot? Get yours today and transform the way you cook. So use our link in the description below, scan the QR code on the screen, or head over to pwunlimited.co/Chef Robot now for smart cooking and perfect results. With that, the poll is now live. If you are watching on Twitch, Bangs, my predictions will be within my preview tomorrow morning for Backlash. Whenever I don't have Luke to do the predictions with me, then I just lump them into my Backlash preview on the morning of the pay-per-view. That's where my predictions will be, on the Backlash preview. As I always state, preview, predictions, and betting odds. So John Cena comes out, and I saw all the discourse on social media tonight. John Cena sucks as a heel. I think that's what he wants you to think. He wants you to think that I am an actor overacting, playing what a stereotypical bad guy is supposed to be, I guess you would say. Over the top bad guy. It's like Cena's playing a role here. This is not Cena trying to be a heel wrestler. This is Cena trying to do like a bad guy in a movie, but in like a B-list indie movie where the guy's not a good actor. Like, that's what it comes off to me. And it's all intentional. This is not Cena not being a good heel. This is Cena playing a very interesting character. Not just a heel, but a bad heel on purpose, it feels like. Anyways, Cena comes down to the ring, gets mixed reaction from the crowd. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks chance. Cena called the ring announcer in and did the same fucking thing. Oh, you're disrespecting me by the way you said my intro. Do it again. So someone then threw a Michelob Ultra bottle into the ring. And Cena actually picked it up while stopping Nash from speaking. I go, what the fuck? Cena then threw the bottle out of the ring and told Nash, keep going. This was interesting. Very interesting. Nash completed his introduction and the crowd cheered as much as they booed. Cena kind of snarled at it. Cena said, quote, tomorrow your childhoods die. He added that the reason that they are reduced to throwing empty bottles of beer is because they know how important Backlash is. Cena noted how Randy Orton wasn't there, and Orton was smart enough to not be here. Cena said, Orton is taking my advice and preparing for the biggest moment of his career. Cena said, and he first wrestled Orton 25 years ago. And since then, well, they've had shared the ring like 100 times. Cena said that there are the two names that define what it is to have ruthless aggression. Cena said, if you're of a certain age, what did he say? 12 to 55 and older, you either cheer for me or him. The crowd actually cheered for Cena in that moment. Cena said at Backlash, it'll be Cena versus Orton for the final time. He reiterated that everyone's childhood will die tomorrow night. Cena said that he will prove three things. Life isn't fair. Winners write the history books. Randy Orton is a liar. Cena said the person Orton has been lying the most to is, well, himself. Cena brought up hustle, loyalty, and respect, and all that stuff. Cena said that Orton has used his stardom and his connections to keep him from having to work hard. Cena said that Orton is the GOAT of a wasting potential. Cena said that, well, I'm the GOAT because, quote, I am hustle. Cena called out Orton for cashing a check and being lazy. Cena said that Orton is over-celebrated and overpaid. Cena said Orton is the GOAT at doing the bare minimum and getting away with it. Cena said Cena's the GOAT because, well, I am loyalty. And he said just like that, I am loyalty. Cena mocked Orton for reminding everyone that, well, I'm a third-generation superstar. Cena said no one knows about Bob Sr., and barely anybody remembers Bob Jr. Cena said the only thing Orton has ever done is ride off of his coattails. Cena's, that is. Cena said at Backlash, Orton will, yes, kill another legend, but in himself. Cena then said, and I quote, Orton will be, quote, just like his 2006 drug test, a failure. I'm like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. This son of a bitch. Cena said that Orton is the GOAT at making a mockery of what a WWE superstar should be. Which I loved that line because for years, JBL was like, if you could pick anybody to be the prototypical, you build a WWE superstar to look like him, and it's Randy Orton. JBL said that for years on commentary. For years, Randy Orton was the prototype of what you use to build a perfect superstar. So I like that line from Cena saying, he's the GOAT of making a mockery of what a superstar should be. Cena then said that he is the GOAT because I am respect. Cena said Saturday, it's going to be a historic moment for WWE. And he held up the belt. Then the crowd starts to stir as some short dude runs up behind Cena. He's wearing black pants, Randy Orton hoodie zipped up, and a face mask. And he jumps up like he's going to go for the RKO, and Cena pushes him off, brings him back in. Ba-da-dum. Boom. Attitude adjustment. So we're like, who the hell's this guy? And I saw people online go, oh, Miles Bourne, Miles Bourne. Is that Miles Bourne? No. For two reasons, I can tell you exactly why it's not Miles Bourne. A, Miles Bourne's taller than this short feller. Miles Bourne only has tattoos on one arm. This guy had tattoos on both arms. Even though he had long sleeves, you could see tattoos on both arms. So Cena goes to pose with the belt again, and the crowd stirs again because the real Randy Orton slithered in. Cena was standing tall, but Orton hit him with the RKO. Real Randy Orton then appeared and RKO'd Cena. Orton then picked up Cena's belt and kissed it. Orton then held it high as his music played. The show ended with Orton looking to the crowd and holding up the title, standing on the second rope. You know, however he does the thing and the thing and the thing. So, a little ending, but kind of just like, meh. Didn't hype me up for the match much. Like, I think the match will be pretty good. I'm excited to see the last ever Randy Orton John Cena match. But that's the only reason. Oh, it's the last time they'll ever have a match together. So they say. That's why I'm excited for it. Not from this segment. Not really. And like we said earlier with Jacob Fatu, champion got laid out, champion's probably going to win. Well, John Cena, champion got laid out, champion's probably going to win. So, yeah. Didn't blow me out of the water or anything. Cena's just overplaying the heel thing. He's overacting. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong on this. But to me, Cena is overacting this and playing the B-movie bad guy. Like, bad on purpose. But with that, guys, and girls, and ladies and gentlemen, that was Friday Night Smackdown. Not a horrible show. Not a great show. A very long freaking show. A long show that felt long. But you know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Friday Night Smackdown as we get the poll going here. Or polls. Check them out. Refresh them. Refresh and refresh. As far as the Threads poll does go, 64% liked the show, 27% thought it was just all right, and 9% didn't like it. The X poll, Twitter poll, 68% liked the show, 18% thought it was just all right, and 12% didn't like it. Looking at the community poll, 81% liked the show, 14% thought it was just all right, and 5% didn't like it. Excuse me, looking at the live poll, 78% liked the show, 16% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. And finally, everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. With that, guys, remember, tomorrow night is Backlash. We'll have our preview predictions and betting odds up in the morning. And then we'll be here tomorrow night to run it all down. Backlash, I think they said the pre-show starts at 5 Eastern. Well, I say it's a 2-hour pre-show. And the main show starts at 7. No. Yeah, 7. Let's see what Peacock says real fast. Go. Peacock. What does Peacock got it labeled as? So yeah. Starts at 5 Eastern. Pre-show's 2 hours. Main card should start around 7 Eastern. And then we have the post-show with press conference as well. So with that, guys, have a great night. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for WWE Backlash. Have a good one, guys.